the folks from MOCA, and raise your hands if you went to the Columbus rallies, because there are 4 or 5 very loyal people who have really trekked down to Columbus several times and stood out in the rain and had their pictures taken, and they made the newspaper in Cleveland, they made the local newspaper, and their pictures were on websites. I couldn't even find them all, but I found you on several different websites with these posters here, and I wanted, and they were the most colorful, which was to me the reason they got their photo taken 1,000 times. So
well, these are the ones we'll take people's pictures.
So we'll pass it around so it can just stand there, people can see. And I asked James when he arrived with them in his garbage bag to keep them dry that day, wow, how'd you get all that trim around there? And he said, walked over to Drug Mart, was it? Got them. And they made them. So they did a really, really nice job. And so many of the posters were like withering in the rain that day. And these made it through the rain. And I don't know what they did, but they worked out. So it seemed poetic that for our local rally that we end up back here at MOCA, because the MOCA folks have traveled the state to make this happen. And they've been out there for Medicaid expansion, so it seemed proper for that reason, but also because folks here live and believe and celebrate recovery and hope. We have hope for this legislation because it's going to bring more to more people, more services, more health care, insurance, and be able to get the services that folks need. And folks here have valued that for their friends, family, community, and we need it in our community. So it seemed perfect to bring it right on home here, and folks here agreed to host it, and we really, really appreciate that Helen, as the director, and all the staff and the members were even willing to help accommodate us for the day.
And we're glad to have everybody here. I think I tried to say hello to everybody, but if I missed you, we're really, really pleased to have everybody here and host this event, because we know that if people can get medical and clinical care and support that they need, that they can recover, that they can live healthy, productive lives.
Treatment works. People recover. And recovering people work, and working people pay taxes. So this is what we're about. This is the dream. Sherry Walter did come today from Columbus, technically. She's the CEO of our association, OACPA, Ohio Association for Behavioral Healthcare Authorities. And the good news for us is Sherry's hometown. She's originally from Rittman. So hometown girl. I'm from Worcester originally, Triway, and we were probably out there playing games in our previous years. So she agreed to stop by as they were going through the state. This is a momentous opportunity for us. There's never been anything this big, especially after such challenging times. As you know, we've had several years of cuts. When I came back here in 2008, then for the next 2 years we had 30% cuts per year, cut services in this community, and our providers have made it in spite of all of that. Now we have the opportunity for additional funding that could fund for folks from 100% to 138% of poverty, that they can receive all the services, the Medicaid services that they need, and then we could redirect to be able to support recovery even more through employment, housing, recovery centers, and crisis. And we also know that single folks, through our STEPS and YHRC, who are both represented here, are not getting all of the benefits that other folks are, and this would bring those benefits for those folks, and we know a great proportion of those people need our services. So we appreciate folks being here. Also, we have Catholic Charities back here in the corner, and any other agency. Oh, there's Bobby. I see both Bobbies here. So we really appreciate your support in all of this. And Bobby Douglas, another celebrity, was on YouTube. You probably can still see that, about Medicaid expansion, and I was impressed that in the rain they caught her and she did a good job. Just to give you a summary, we know that these funds can be made available because the federal Affordable Care Act allows for that, and for the Medicaid expansion, we can get those paid for at 100% for 2 years, which will help our state budget, and then 90% after that. So this is a rare, rare opportunity. And if we could have more funds for services, we've already made a list with our representatives of what services are needed and need to happen. And just so you know, our system for non-Medicaid funded services has decreased, the funding has decreased by 62%, 62.8% since '02 till 13, 14 that we're in now. And Sherry's Association helps us keep track of that data so that we realize what we're advocating for. It's so critical. And that's all you want to hear from me. What you really want to hear from are the people that have fought their way through these illnesses, continue to support others, make it work. And we have 2 people who are willing to chat with us today. And James not only is chatting today, but he testified before the House Finance Committee. So I'm going to let James say a few words, and then Lee will talk to you also.
Okay.
James, you're on.
For me, I've had a difficult journey that started my childhood. I was diagnosed a few years ago with bipolar disorder and depression. And while waiting for the services, I was on Medicaid and Medicare, and MOCA House was really important for me coming here. And I just want to say that it is important people do recover, treatment works, and I'd like for people to understand that. And I also want to say that there's a lot of people that cycle into the psychiatric hospitals, and I've had that happen to me. I've been in one before, and I could have ended up with a homeless person on the streets, but luckily I had family that took me in and supported me. And the church did that for me too. They also were helpful for me. I'd like to also add that the potential of cost in the state of Ohio is exponentially, and sadly people lose their lives because they do not receive the proper treatment and care. I live in a community that cares, which is Worcester, Ohio, and we have a house here, and this place is the best place for you to recover, I believe. Thank you.
Thank you. Lee.
I'm on. Well, I've been suffering from my mental illnesses since a traumatic incident that happened at the age of 8. I stayed undiagnosed until 8-9 years ago. I am a suicide survivor because I started attempting suicide at the young age of 17. I did not take it lightly. I was very serious about it and was pronounced clinically dead twice. And through the grace of God, I was brought back. I came to Worcester September 8th because of another traumatic incident, getting a divorce from California. I found out about the MOCA House in October and have been coming ever since. This place has literally, with the support of treatment and medication, has saved my life. In January and March of this year, I was extremely suicidal again. The only thing that kept me from doing it again, and maybe being successful this time, was this place, these people, this staff, and the fact I couldn't find a place to do it in. I wanted to be private. Medicaid works. What scares me is Representative Offset's brought up the fact that this bill has now become symbolic. That's dangerous. That's a dangerous word for recovering people. We are not symbolic. We are living, breathing human beings. We just have issues and a little hitch, some of us more than others. With recovery, with Medicaid, with support, we can become functional again. I have become social as opposed to isolated. Please keep this in mind when thinking of Medicaid expansion. It does work. Thank you.
Also, since we have Sherry, I'm going to let her just say a couple of points because she drove to get here and deserves to say a few things.
Not necessarily, but thank you. It is kind of like Old Home Week. While I might have grown up in Rittman, my grandfather lived in Worcester for 93 years on Burbank, and my dad used to that little building that's on the corner of Burbank and Beaver, you know, right there in that triangle.
Yeah.
My dad used to own that service station many, many years ago. So we're really from Worcester. Yeah. So that's right, Texaco.
The Texas,
So,
yeah.
Very good.
So, you know, first of all, I just want to thank the MOCA House folks. I mean, you guys have been great. You have come down to rallies. James has testified. You've really gone above and beyond, and you deserve a lot of credit for what you're doing. So I give you a big y'all are very lucky in the Wayne Homes area to have Judy. You've got great services with, you know, Liberty and Steps. I know you guys are doing a really great job here. So, you know, you do a great job. You're really out in the forefront. So I give Worcester, Wayne Homes, I give you guys a lot of credit. You're doing a lot of good stuff. You do have a very important representative. I mean, Representative Amstutz is chair of the House Finance Committee. And sorry he couldn't be here, but frankly, I think he understands. He has always been a supporter of behavioral health services. I think we just have to help folks in the House and frankly in the Senate overcome this issue of whether it's political with Obamacare. And we've just got to help them see that this is the best thing for Ohio in many, many ways, for not only behavioral health, but for physical health care and people who just aren't getting the services they need. So thank you for what you're doing. I really appreciate it, and I applaud you for all your efforts, so thank you.
Thank you.
That this is our mission right now, and we're going to hold on to the hope for Medicaid expansion and receiving more dollars into the system for people to receive services and more services that we can direct the funds to. I really, really thank you all for coming. You put this on your schedule. You made a special effort. MOCA came early today. We appreciate you running the vans early. We appreciate all of that and hosting us today at such a wonderful place. Thank you.